Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission, health. Are prescription drugs killing the American population, or just the population in general? Here's a good article from newswire.com. Harvard professor says prescription drugs are killing population. A Harvard professor has claimed that prescription drugs are not only ineffective at treating most illnesses, but are actually killing the population. Arnold Seymour Relman, professor of medicine at Harvard University and former editor-in-chief of the New England Medical Journal, says the medical profession is being bought by the pharmaceutical industry, not only in terms of practice of medicine, but also in terms of teaching and research. The academic institutions of this country are allowing themselves to be paid agents of the pharmaceutical industry, and I think it's disgraceful. This is so true, and I've been trying to tell people this for years and upon years. All that research that goes in, it's all for the drug companies. People think that, cancer is this disease. Cancer is an industry for the pharmaceutical company. All these things are industries. Vaccinations are not a public service. Vaccinations are a major industry. And what these people do is they use scare tactics to make you think that you have to do what they say. You have to take this vaccination. You have to do chemotherapy. You have to do this drug. This is absolutely necessary. You need more testing. This, and this, and this, and this. And it's from one thing to another. Now, we stopped using pharmaceutical drugs. How long ago, Jamie? 16 years ago?
Yes.
16 years ago, we totally stopped. I was on, we were both asthmatic, Jamie and I. I was on prescription deodorant. I was on acid reflux medication. The medication wasn't even working. They wanted to operate. I had high blood pressure. The doctor wanted to put me on on cholesterol medication. Wanted to. I didn't let him. And that was when the whole thing started changing. But it seems like once people start taking one drug, the roller coaster starts of other drugs to combat the side effects. According to a new study, almost 80% of meta-analysis had some sort of industry tie-up, either through sponsorship of speaking fees, research grants, and things like that. These drugs can instantly relieve acute pain and distress, but the treatment of chronic disease poses a grave problem. Thus, in relieving a diseased condition, other abnormal physiological and pathological problems may develop. The side effects from these drugs can range from mild side effects like fatigue and constipation to stronger side effects like suicidal thoughts, insomnia, coma, severe infection, and so on. So this is just like this roller coaster of drugs that start happening. I've seen it in my family. I've seen my father, who has chronic heart disease, congestive heart failure. It's just one drug after another. It seems like they're always combating something with something with something. And it's like he has a water pill because of this, because of that, because of that. And never once have they really sat down with him and said, you need to get off all these drugs and you need to start from square one. And this is what you need to absolutely do. And my father knows, because my father has seen some of these books, and he has Dean Ornish's book, and he's read this stuff. But you go to the doctor and they use these scare tactics and they throw these things out at you. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And you don't have to do any of that. You have to educate yourself, and you have to have an open mind. And I always tell people, don't get a second opinion, because your second opinion might be the same as the first opinion. Get a different opinion. Go to a different doctor. Get a different opinion. And I've had actually my primary care physician who comes to my restaurant to eat. He's actually admitted to me in my restaurant that most drugs are useless that he prescribes, and that antibiotics, if used properly, can be very effective, but in smaller, just in less used remedies, as far as, just not prescribing it left and right. He said antibiotics are really the only thing that's very useful when used properly and not over abused. And this is my primary care physician who just administers drugs left and right, left and right, left and right. And I just started, I read a headline the other day, I think it was from Natural News, how one of this medical doctor didn't want to sit in on the 7-hour board test or something, because he's claiming all this test is just memorizing what drug to give what condition. All this is just about giving drugs. It's not about actually curing or reversing disease. Unfortunately, our son right now has Lyme disease, and it's affecting his eyesight. He has double vision, and it's got some term. And of course, we went to our primary care physician, and he immediately said, "You have to go here. You 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 have to get this test, this test, this test." And he made us so crazy. And so we ended up going, we took our daughter years ago to Dr. Michael Schachter in Suffern. And it's just such a pleasure to go into a doctor's office and sit down with the PA for 45 minutes. We sat down with the PA. We went over diet, nutrition. We went over all this history. And then we sat with Dr. Schachter for an hour. Hour and a half, right? Sat in his office. Nutritionist was there. And he was reassuring us that what we're doing is totally correct as far as our stance on all medicine. Now, he was the president of the Drugless Practitioner Society, and so he does not prescribe drugs unless he feels it's absolutely necessary. And of course, our son Justin was prescribed a round of antibiotics, 2 to 3 months of antibiotics he wants to see him on, because he explained it with our daughter as well 10 years ago. You have to catch multiple cycles of the Lyme disease coming in and out of your nerve endings to properly kill everything off, that it's nasty and it can get back in there and come back out, and the few that live can pose problems and relapses within months or years to come. But he's looking down our list and he's like, vitamin C, 1 gram an hour. He's like, chlorella, 30 tablets a day. Vitamin D, 10,000 IUs. He goes, who told you to do all this? And we're like, well, we did. We research. He goes, wow, I'm impressed. This is really good. He goes, keep all this up. And he added some more things on there. But as well as giving Justin, and he explained it, we have to give him this antibiotic, but we also have to do a lot of other things to help build his immune system naturally. He goes, a lot of doctors go right in and they want to stick an IV in and just pump you full of all these antibiotics, and it just takes over your immune system. It ruins your immune system, and your immune system never has a fighting chance. So he explained that we have to do vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, 1 gram an hour still, and Justin's actually testing his urine. He has pee strips so he can make sure that he's fully loaded, because vitamin C, the oral doses you take, go out of your system within several hours. So to make sure he's properly dosed with vitamin C all day, he gets spiked in his drinking water. So he explained that you have to combat the drugs that you're actually putting into your body. You have to counterbalance, and you have to build the immune system. The immune system at some point has to take charge and has to take over and fight off this as naturally. Now, I've been to lots of doctors, not a lot, but several doctors, and I've always asked about the antibiotics and probiotic combo. Take probiotics to offset, killing all the bacteria in your system. And Jamie, have you ever come across a doctor that's actually, every doctor that we've ever talked to about this has said stay away from probiotics?
Yes.
They say stay away from probiotics. The antibiotic won't work. The antibiotic won't work. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away. And the antibiotics can really harm your system. So you want to actually offset this. This is the way he explained it. We had a doctor in last night in the restaurant here, Jamie, one of the local doctors, and I was talking to him, and he actually agreed with the probiotics. He said, "Oh, that's good, probiotics. Yes, you have to counterbalance that." So it's great that some doctors are thinking progressive like that, but a lot of doctors will tell you to stop the natural therapies when you're on theirs, because it can't interfere with the drugs, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And Dr. Schachter explained, you have to build your immune system. You want that immune system strong. You want that immune system to fight off the disease, the chronic, whatever is the problem, just as much as the drugs are fighting it off, and you want to counterbalance the effect of the drugs. So this Harvard professor, great article. I'll link it here in the description. And for me, I found myself at 28 years old just on all these medications, and it was like, here's one medication for this. Why did I need prescription deodorant? I was sweating this yellow out of my system. I was so toxic. Was it one of the other drugs I was taking? What was it? But it's like, and my acid reflux was so bad, and that was it that drug I was taking that was making me sweat yellow? And what was the story? What was going on? But every time I went to the doctor, it was like, oh, here's something else you should be taking. It was just like one spiral effect after another. And I tell people with asthma that inhaler is so addictive. That inhaler is so addictive that it's actually causing your asthma attacks. Once you can break that cycle of taking that inhaler and putting it aside and getting through some small minor asthma attacks and not using it, your body, what I found me personally, and I think you can attest to this, Jamie, that once you put that asthma spray down, and you work through a couple smaller asthma attacks, that it's easier to get through asthma attacks. You're not finding yourself relying on that spray anymore.
Absolutely.
And somebody taught me a trick a long time ago to drink coffee if you're having an asthma attack, because that dilates your lungs. And I think you did that a couple times, didn't you, Jamie, when you had asthma attacks in the beginning? You would drink, we don't drink coffee, but it was either take a spray with sulfites and whatever else is in it, steroids, whatever, or take a cup of coffee with some caffeine in it to dilate and open up, and that works extremely well. So I've been off of asthma medicine, my asthma spray, for 15 years now, maybe 16 years now. I haven't touched it
16.
Since Courtney was born. 16 years. And you've been off how many years? 5, 6.
No, it's been longer than that now. Maybe
8 years. Yeah. So just totally put the stuff aside and said, I'm not touching this anymore. I don't need this for my asthma anymore. This and that. That was what we did personally. What we did might not work for you. You need to really research and get some professional. That's my disclaimer here. Get a medical professional to help guide you through that. So I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass it on.